Hello everybody, it's me GhostCritic with a Monday question of the week. The day I pose a comic book related question to you guys out there and you get to answer it in the comment section down below. Thank you to everybody who participated in last week's question and of course those who posed me questions for this week. We'll get to those a little bit later. So on to this week's question I'll be posing to you lot. We are all, well, at least the Bat fans among us are waiting for the reveal of the Grand Puppeteer in DC's current huge event, Batman Eternal. Speculation is being cast here, there and everywhere and who it could possibly be. So it got me wondering about past reveals, those oh my god moments in the comic book mythology that has gone before us. So things like the person who murdered Sue Dibney, the reveal of that. Kirkman's throwing caution to the wind at killing off favourite characters and how he does it. You know, just those moments that make your jaw just drop and go, either I can't believe they've just done that, or oh my god, I didn't see that coming, or oh, I knew that was going to happen. So yes, those reveal moments, what have been your favourites? On to the questions that were posed to me last week. Thank you to those people who decided to throw me a question. The 4 people who did all have YouTube channels and are all part of our comic book community, and I will be putting links to their channels in the description bar below. So remember, if you are not subscribed to any of them, expand that description bar and you'll see a link to all their channels, so you can go over, check out their stuff, and if you like it, love it, give it a big thumbs, give their videos a big thumbs up and subscribe to their channels. So we're gonna kick off with Larissa. Larissa's doing quite a brave thing this just recently. I thought about doing it right at the beginning of the year, but I'm not brave enough. She is not collecting any current DC or Marvel books. She is sticking to the independents, trying out brand new stuff, and well done to her for trying that out. You're a braver person than I. Anyway, on to her question. She asked me, if you could be in one of the comic writer artist shoes, who would that be? I hate to sound like a broken record, but he is really my favourite writer artist at the moment, really. Though he hasn't got anything out at the moment, but he has got some stuff upcoming, and that is Brandon Graham. I would not necessarily want to be in his shoes because I would completely ruin his career. But I would certainly like to be inside his head to just find out where all this this huge imaginative worlds he creates come from. You know, his thought processes and that. Do they come from these wild, fevered, drug-addled dreams perhaps he has? But just how he gets what's in there onto the actual page. Sleepy Reader 666 asked me, is there a comic you thought you would hate that you ended up loving? Now, there is one, I suppose. It wasn't so much that I thought I'd hate it, because I ended up having to buy them all in trade because I came to it quite late. But I just took a look at the front cover of it, of the very first issue, and thought it just looked goofy. It didn't look like, you know, it's that case of you don't judge a book by its cover. because inside the actual story within it was a very dark, very troublesome, a kind of apocalyptic future, and that was Sweet Tooth by Jeff Lemire. How wrong was I about that? Because of course I ended up loving that series, and one of the few kind of Vertigo series that has ended just perfectly. You believed the ending to it, it made sense, and it didn't disappoint. It tied everything up and was very satisfying. On to Joshua Hayes, our Bat Josh, who when he's not asking me completely random questions about tacos, we can always rely on him to ask me a question regarding Batman. And he asked me, what classic Batman story would you revamp, retell, retool and tell in the New 52? Now, this was a very difficult one. I was going to say Nightfall because he gave me that as an example. And to be honest, the two that I immediately thought of was Nightfall and No Man's Land. But then I got to thinking that those two stories I feel are very much part right now of Batman Eternal. I'm seeing Batman Eternal through the issues is going to be the kind of tearing down of Batman till he's at his, you know, at his lowest, at his most exhausted, both physically and emotionally. So, and I can already, and obviously Gotham is going to go up in flames because we've seen that first panel of the first issue. So we can see a no man's land kind of thing happening there anyway. So I was thinking of other classic ones. I did kind of go, I wanted to go to, oh goodness, what's it called? The Killing Joke. But this is troublesome because they've already kind of explained away the things that happened in The Killing Joke, i.e. Barbara Gordon and what happened to her and how she became Oracle. But that's why I would have wanted them to do it again if they hadn't, you know, messed it up with explaining that away, because then we could get Barbara Gordon back in that role as Oracle, which I certainly miss terribly. I don't read Batgirl, but I did read Birds of Prey, the last incarnation before we changed into the New 52, and I really enjoyed it, and obviously Oracle was a big part of that. So at the end of it, although again it's one of those things where I don't really want the New 52 to do anything more with, you know, the past canon of work of Batman. The only other classic Batman story that I love and would maybe, if I had to choose one for them to retell, would be The Long Halloween. It could be like a kind of prequel to Year Zero, or in fact, you know, Batman Eternal, and maybe flesh out the whole kind of internet rumours that Falcone is Catwoman's father, and, you know, maybe embellish that a bit or put it to bed that he is or isn't. So let's go with The Long Halloween. Finally, Speaks, he asked me what, and he cheated a little, and I am going to have to start answering my own posed questions to you guys, so he can't do this again because he's done it more than once. But he asked me, as I asked you lot last week, what was your last big comic book find? And I have to admit, I haven't I've kind of edged away from buying seriously, if you want to say that, my back issues, i.e. you know, the really old books. I do kind of go through phases of that. Obviously I still collect back issues, but I try and find the really cheap stuff like the 50p bins. But on my holiday this year just gone, when I went to, holiday just gone, a few months ago, whenever it was, well, the week I took off, I managed to pick up and fill in just a few more holes in my early run of Fables. Anyone who's a loyal viewer of me here knows I love Fables, the Vertigo series by Bill Willingham. I only have 3 more issues to find now. I'm trying to, I mean, I could find them like that, but I want to get them cheap, obviously. And I think I need issue, well, I know I definitely need issue 1, and I think it's 7 and 8. And then I'll have the whole run right up to present day, and like I keep mentioning, only 8 more issues to go. So that's it. They are my answers to your questions this week. Don't forget to answer the question I posed to you right at the top of this video, and please throw some questions my way. It seems to be a free-for-all now. People are asking me about tacos and music as well, so throw any questions you want at me, and you know, I'll decide if they're not comic book related whether I want to answer them or not. You know, nothing too personal. Until Wednesday, when you will see what I picked up this week on my pull list. Bye bye.